Colts Bobby Okereke Team knew of assault allegation before drafting him. The Indianapolis Colts reviewed a Title IX case of alleged sexual assault involving 2019 draft pick Bobby Okereke during his time at Stanford, and citing the fact that Okereke was never charged by the university or authorities, felt comfortable taking him 89th overall in April. It was Okereke who initially made the team aware of the alleged incident during an interview at the Senior Bowl in late January. Okereke. He was very honest about his side of the story and what occurred, GM Chris Ballard said Wednesday. The team vetted Okereke's background further, interviewing him at length about the incident as well as several sources from Stanford. The Colts also, "We talked it through, and look, at the end of the day, it falls on me," Ballard said. "I've been fortunate." Ballard did say that he was made aware of the allegation before the Colts drafted Okereke. He also added, according to the Fountain Hopper, an independent student-run website at Stanford University, Okereke was found guilty of sexual assault for a February 2015 incident by a majority of Title IX panelists at the school. The New York Times, the complainant's appeal for a third hearing, according to the Times, was denied. Stanford was empowered to handle the case internally by Title IX, and the U.S. Education Department's interpretation of the law, which requires universities to carry out investigations of alleged sex crimes on campus. The woman, therefore, Okereke was never charged and never convicted. Both Fountain Hopper and the Times also reported that the woman, angry at the decision, later left the school to avoid the player. Stanford has calling the situation a he said, she said incident. Ballard added that, "I don't want to sit here and act like we don't have sympathy for both sides." It happened 4 years after grabbing Okereke 89th overall in April. The Colts raved about his character. Okereke, a really great kid, the Colts area scout who tracked Okereke, Chris Magaha, said after the draft. Personality-wise, Okereke is not expected to be investigated by the NFL. Since the incident, star reporter Joel A. Erickson contributed to this story. Call Star Report. This article originally appeared on Indianapolis Star.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park,